Parents, if you've ever found yourself in a moment where something happens with your child and you feel the reaction rising, the frustration, the need to say something right now, I want to slow that moment down with you because before you respond and before you pray, before you step in it at all, there's something that matters more than you often realize, and that's the condition of your heart. And I know that can be easy to overlook because you're looking at what's happening with them. But if your heart is not aligned, you'll end up responding from a place that's creating more tension instead of bringing peace into the situation. So let's talk about what alignment actually means. This is not about being perfect and it's not about overanalyzing yourself. Alignment is simply being honest about what you're carrying and allowing God to adjust it. Let me show you what this can look like. Something happens. Maybe your child says something disrespectful or they make a decision you don't agree with. Maybe you're seeing a pattern that's being repeated again, and instantly something in you rises. It might be frustration, fear, disappointment, or even offense. And if you move from that place, your response will carry it. Even if your words sound calm, your tone and your presence or your energy, it will still reflect what's happening inside. Scripture says in Luke 6:45, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So alignment is not about controlling your words, it's about addressing what's filling your heart. And this is where most people want to skip ahead. They want to go straight into correcting or explaining or even praying. But without alignment, those things won't land the way you intend. So, what does it look like to align in that moment? It starts with pausing and asking yourself honestly, what am I feeling right now? Not what should you feel, what are you actually feeling? Then take it one step further. Where is this coming from? Is it fear? Fear of what might happen, or frustration from the repeated patterns, or hurt from how they're treating you? This is not about judging yourself, it's about becoming aware. And then you bring that to God. It says in Psalm 139 and verse 23, search me, O God, and know my heart. So instead of pushing past what you're feeling, you bring it into the light. God, I feel frustrated right now, or I'm afraid of where this is going. I feel hurt by how that came across. And then you ask Him, help me to respond from truth, not from this feeling. So let's go a little deeper because alignment is not just about emotions, it's also about what we allow to stay in our heart over time. Things like unforgiveness, offense, fear based thinking, the need to control. And if those things are sitting under the surface, they will show up in how you respond, whether you realize it or not. And this is where we talk about something important, such as closing the open doors. Not in a way that creates pressure, but in a way that's bringing clarity. Because if you're holding on to resentment or fear or speaking negatively over the situation, it can keep you from responding from a place of peace and authority. So, alignment looks like, God, if there's anything in me that is not aligned with you, show me and help me to release it. You don't have to be perfect, just be willing. And this matters in prayer. Because when you go to God on behalf of your child, you don't want to be carrying fear or offense or control. You want to be grounded. It says in James 5 and 16, the prayer of a righteous person is powerful and effective. Again, this is not perfection, this is posture. Let's bring this into a real scenario. You're about to say something to your child and you feel the urgency. But instead of speaking immediately, you pause and think, I'm feeling frustrated right now. So instead of reacting, you step back for a moment. You bring that to God and you let it settle. And then when you respond, you're coming from a different place. Not reaction, not emotion, but steadiness. And that changes everything. So here's something simple that you can bring to the table and begin practicing right now, today. Before you respond or before you pray, ask yourself, am I aligned right now? If the answer is no, then you pause. Take a moment to realign yourself. That might look like taking a breath, stepping away briefly, or quietly bringing your heart back to God. You don't have to rush your response. So let's go a little deeper. Alignment determines the weight of your response. Because when your heart is steady, your words carry differently. When you're aligned, you're not reacting to the moment, you're responding from a grounded place. And that's where we want to be. So, in the next video, we're going to step into what happens next. Because once you've discerned and once you've aligned, now you're ready to intercede, not from fear, but from authority.